Greetings. For dinner tonight, I'm going to make Chinese spare ribs in black bean sauce, or in Cantonese, Dao Si Pai Guet. Dao Si being the black bean, Pai Guet, spare ribs. Now my Chinese is very limited. I really only know a few words, just xiu xiu, just a little bit. But any way you say it, these should be delicious. Now the meat is all defrosted and ready to go. Last week I cut and froze these pork ribs. Let's have a look at that. Many American supermarkets sell this cut of pork loin ribs under the name of sweet and sour ribs. If you can't find them out in the cold case, you can ask the butcher if they have any in back. I believe they are cut from the rib tip, and I've also heard them called Chinese cut ribs. If you strike out, most Asian markets with the meat department will stock them. All right, so let's cut our ribs into individual bones. You know, I love these Chinese scissors. They're really great for any kind of food prep, or really any other scissors need. I got them for $3 or $4 at the Asian market. They work great. You know, it says here that these are great for the grill, and that might be so, but only after they've been tenderized somehow. Any pork rib needs to be either parboiled or steamed or slow smoked to get them tender before grilling. And if you've ever thrown raw ribs on the grill, you know just how tough they come out. We'll be steaming these. So I'm just going to cut midway between the bones into probably 2-inch pieces. And we have 3.7 pounds here. I'll divide them in half, and this will be enough to make 2 entrees. So I'm going to use my little kiwi slicer. Got this at the Asian market too, and it was under $10. I'm always going back to this because it's so thin. Of course I have better knives like this Tojiro, which is an $80 knife, 8-inch chef, or a Dexter slicer. But this little guy is so thin, I'm not sure if you can see the difference, but it cuts really well. You just have to keep it sharp. It's probably not going to hold his edge as well as a better knife, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so you can see the individual bones here. We're just going to slice between them. So that's about what you want. And you can keep the silver skin on. I never have any problem with that. All right, let's try the Tojiro out. It does cut nicely. Just feel for the bones, cut in between them. Bones you can't see, you can feel for. Now this is going to be a meaty rib. Okay. We'll divide these up into 2 equal portions, and we'll put them in freezer bags. Next week, I'll get back to you on this, and we'll make Dao Si Pai Guet. Okay, while we have a dry wok, we'll toast up some sesame seeds for the garnish. And These will toast up in no time. Okay, good. Okay, let's start browning the ribs. These ribs are unseasoned. They'll get all the seasoning they need and all the flavor they need from the sauce. Okay, we'll call that good. And we'll get them over to the steamer. These will steam for 20 to 30 minutes, giving us plenty of time to start the rice and prep the other ingredients. Okay, so we'll keep the oil in there and we'll use that oil for our stir fry. Rice cookers are fine inventions. Well, let's get the vegetables chopped and then I'll make the sauce. You can use any vegetables you like, but traditionally onions and bell peppers are used. Tonight I'm going to add mushrooms and carrot. Ginger and garlic are standard in any stir fry. So let's get going. Cut both poles off the onion. I like to have it. There are a lot of different methods to peel an onion. I just like to take the whole outer layer and get rid of it. There's plenty enough onion to go around without having to use that. So there are probably 20 different ways to slice an onion. And if I were going to make chow mein or something with long ingredients in it, I would probably make slices. But all the ingredients in this dish are probably going to be kind of squarish. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and cut the onion like this. You know, it's really hard for me to understand, but there are people who don't care for onions. Beyond their great taste, they're full of fiber and antioxidants, rich in vitamin B and C with lots of sulfur, iron, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, and manganese. They raise your good cholesterol and lower your bad. If ever there was a miracle vegetable, it's the lowly onion. And the list goes on. They can detoxify you of nasty metals you pick up from the environment, promote brain health, and they can reduce prostate cancer risk. And even the tears you cry lubricates the eyes and kills bacteria. I think I like onions. Okay, let's get this out of the way before I start crying. Now, these are fresh picked bell peppers from our garden. Normally green, but we'll use red. That should make the dish colorful. You know, I love cooking with things we grow. Besides the freshness and better flavor, you get this sense of accomplishment and reward. It's a small step back to the way things were when people were self-sufficient and provided for themselves. Now, some people will slice the ribs out just to make it pretty, but I kind of like the ribs in there. So we'll just cut this up like this. Vegetable gardening is something that can be done by almost anybody and anywhere, at least on a small scale, and it's not real hard. Just a few pepper and tomato plants yield so much, you'll be giving it away to friends and neighbors. It promotes goodwill. Take a bag of tomatoes over to that neighbor whom you've never talked to, and now you've got a new friend. Pay it forward, and good karma will follow. Just a fairly coarse cut. Mushroom, again, you don't need to get real thin with these. Now I like creminis. They just seem to have a lot of character and flavor, and besides that, I feel like I'm getting a deal because a cremini is just a juvenile portobello. Portobellos go for around $7 a pound. Creminis cost $3 a pound. Okay, so the garlic. I like garlic a lot. Probably use 3 or 4 cloves. Let's go with 4. Oh, what the heck? How about 5? So a regular way to skin a garlic is just to give it a bash, and you got it skinned. But I've been dying to try this. I've heard that if you put them in a jar or some other kind of container, and then give them a shake, rattle, and roll, you can knock the skins off. So let's give that a go and see how it works. And what do you know? It worked. It was kind of fun too. Okay. The ginger, well, I could skin it with a knife, but I think I'm going to use a spoon instead. Works just as good, and it's a little less wasteful. And the ratio of ginger to garlic is about half the amount of ginger to the garlic. So the ginger, you can slice it, but what I like to do is I like to cut rounds. One more. And then I like to give it a bash. And it kind of pulverizes it. It gets those fibers opened up, and then it kind of incorporates into the sauce, and you don't have it in real fine slices. Okay, so the garlic. Again, fairly coarse because you don't want it to burn. Garlic is absolutely delicious, a pungent and spicy seasoning that mellows and sweetens with cooking. I think I would eat garlic even if it was bad for you. But of course, it's just the opposite, with all the same benefits of onions plus more. It's great for your heart, reduces blood pressure, spanks the baby, and takes out the garbage. Another miracle veggie that you need to keep in your diet. Okay. There you have it. Garlic, ginger, about a little more garlic. Okay, we got plenty there. Now the carrot, I'm going to use my fancy slicer here. Cut on a diagonal just to give it some pretty presentation. We already have the red going with the bell pepper, and this would have been a nice contrast had it been green. But this will be a bright colored dish with the orange carrot and the red pepper going. Don't necessarily have to use all this carrot, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. Green onion we'll use for the garnish, along with sesame seeds. And we'll put this on raw. Okay, that does it for the vegetables. Onions, bell peppers, carrots, garlic and ginger, green onions, sliced mushrooms. The time-consuming work in Chinese cooking is prepping all the ingredients. The cooking really happens in a matter of minutes, seconds even. And it's because of this fast cooking time that you have to have all your ingredients fully prepared and ready to be added quickly. If you fumble around for something you need, you could easily burn your dish. Let's get started with the sauce. I'll start with around 3/4 cup of unsalted chicken stock. I boiled a whole chicken the other day for another dish, and I'll be using the stock from that. I usually use the store-bought unsalted chicken stock, but homemade's always better, right? Now I'll add a tablespoon of Shaoxing cooking wine, and pour a little for the stir fry later. Then comes a tablespoon of dark soy sauce. I prefer Pearl River Bridge mushroom flavored dark soy sauce. Another tablespoon of light soy sauce. Again, for the light soy sauce, I like the Pearl River Bridge brand. And what I think I'll do is I'll split light soy sauce with a low sodium soy sauce. The Japanese brands Yamasa and Tamari both make good low sodium soy sauces. Now might be a good time to talk about salt in Chinese cooking. I never add salt to my dishes because there's already a lot of salt in the ingredients. Soy sauce has a ton. The oyster sauce has a lot. Even the cooking wine has salt, and this dish has the salted black beans. So plenty of salty flavor already going on. In goes a couple of teaspoons of oyster sauce. Lee Kum Kee makes the popular Panda brand of oyster sauce, but they also make a premium oyster sauce, It's the one with the pretty label. It costs more, but I think it's worth it. Okay, now for the star of the show, salted fermented black bean. These little guys are packed with flavor and will really make the dish. They're extremely salty if you don't rinse them at first. After rinsing, I give them a little mash to help distribute the flavor into the sauce. Okay, in they go. Lastly, we want to get a teaspoon of brown sugar in there, just to sweeten things up a little. I thicken all my stir fries with a cornstarch slurry. I make a little more than I think I'll need, just in case I want the sauce to be a little thicker. And then some sesame oil for the finish. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes. Let's have a look at these spare ribs. You see how the meat has receded away from the bone and they're fork tender? So those are ready to be added to the stir fry. All right, time to get the stir fry going. Start with our onions. Bell peppers can go in. And our garlic and ginger. Carrots. Mushrooms. Time for the cooking wine. Now the sauce. We'll bring that to a boil and thicken. Bit more. That is done. Finish with some sesame oil. And lastly, the garnish. Okay, time to eat. Here's our finished Chinese spare ribs in black bean sauce. Just add a little rice. Bon appetit.